So I'm up on the Port Hills today, and I'm walking a section of the Christchurch 360 trail that goes all the way around the outside of Christchurch. And so the section I'm walking today is from Kennedy's Bush Trek, which is just here round to the sign of the Kiwi. And then I basically drop off the trek there and head down the Harry L trek back down to Victoria Park and down Cashmere Way. Yeah, so this section here is about 5 kilometres from here to the sign of the Kiwi, which is one of those rest stops that they built for the trek that was going to go all the way around the top of the hills. And it's at Dyers Pass, where Dyers Pass Road goes up over the saddle. Yeah. So from here there's a multi-use track that goes down Kennedy Bush Spur all the way down to the Horsewall Quarry Reserve, which I did in one of the previous sections. So what I'll do is I'll come back here sometime. I'll get Karen to drop me off. It's really busy up here. There's lots of people walking and cycling, biking, driving around. It's the first nice weekend, nice clear sunny weekend we've had for about a month and a half. So like everybody's out doing stuff. Good for them, but it's bloody irritating when you're trying to film stuff because people keep driving past. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get Karen to drop me off at this point sometime, and I'll walk down the hill, or maybe together we'll do it, and walk down Kennedy's Bush Spur down to Horsewall Quarry. Yeah, and then that'll be like another 10k section of the trek. I've done this section a couple of times now. I've walked it a couple of times, mountain biked it a couple of times back when I used to do lots of mountain biking. It's quite a nice walk. Even coming uphill it's not that difficult, the gradient's not too bad, but it's quite a bit of a grunt on a mountain bike because there are a couple of steep bits. So some people heading down Kennedy's Bush Trek at the moment. Yeah, so that's Kennedy's Bush Trek just here in front of us. Going down the hills this way, and then it swings round down to Kennedy's Bush round that direction. That's about another 5k's. Yeah, so the track goes up and over the top of the hill. So that's the continuation of the trek going up this hill. When you get up the trek a wee bit, there's a junction, so you can either head towards the sign of the Kiwi, or you can head back to the sign of the Bellbird, which is off to the right of us. Just heading up the hill, about halfway up to the junction. There's the trek junction just up there where the post is, and then we'll be heading off to the left to take us back towards the sign of the Kiwi. So that's looking down the track to the top of the Kennedy's Bush track. Yeah, so it's probably about maybe 500 metres down to the road from here. So it's 5.1 k's from this point to Horsell Quarry. Yeah, so from this point what you're basically doing is you're on the Crater Inn walkway from here all the way to the Bridle Path, basically. And so the section here is 4.4 k's from here to the side of the Kiwi, and you're just heading along the hills in this direction. There's a lovely view out to Canterbury for most of the time while you're up here walking. It's a area of native planting that they planted after the big fire they had up here on the Porthills about 4 or 5 years ago. And so you're basically making your way down to the bottom of this hill, and then you're heading for this hill over here, and there's a track that goes up and over it in that direction, heading towards the sign of the Kiwi. There's the track in front of us heading down the hill. So it's the bottom of that first hill. There's a car park just in front of me that I'll sit down and have a break at before I continue on my way. So there's a series of car parks right along this section of the track where you can basically park your car to walk a section. Where we're going from here is it just continues on the other side of the car park over there, but what we'll do is we'll actually stop here first and just have a drink and a snack and then continue on our way. Just got a couple of handy rocks here at the edge of the track to sit down on. Yeah, so I've only actually got one section of the Christchurch 360 left to finish, and I've actually technically walked that section as well. So that's the section from Taylor's Mistake up over to Sumner. It's problematic, it's quite hard to get to the track, but I've actually walked or ridden every other section of the track, or run them at one time or another. Yeah, last time I walked this particular section would have probably been back in maybe 2018, I think, when I was walking the whole section along the top of the Porthills. There's a side track there, bivvy track, that goes down to Governor's Bay. It's quite a rough track, that one. I'm just re-walking these sections so that you can see them on the vlog. Yeah. It's my intention to eventually do all of the sections again, so that like I can, what I'm going to do is I'm thinking about building like an actual vlog that's just about walking the Christchurch 360, because I figure I'll have probably about 50 or 60 vlog to put onto it, you know, by the time I'm finished. Yeah, but we'll see. You might just be able to see there's some people climbing the rock faces over there. Probably take me about another hour to walk from here to the sign of the Kiwi. It's not hard walking. It's fairly easy. You know, you're up on top of the hills. If you were starting from the quarry at Hallswell Quarry, that's 5k's all uphill, and then when you get up here, you're just kind of going up and down over the bumps, so that's not too bad. It's basically like tops travel in any place you might go to. Anyway, I'll saddle up and get on my gear, and I'll get on my way. See you along the track. Yeah, so we'll just head off. I'm almost at the high point of this little piece of the trail. Yeah, it's probably about another 40 metres this way. There's Quail Island down there in the centre of Lyttelton Harbour. It's where I was last weekend. You can see all the yachts out on the harbour over there from the sail GP that's going on this weekend. So that's the next hill you have to go up along. The track doesn't go right up to the top, it actually sidles along the edge. So you only climb at about maybe, I don't know, maybe 100 metres up from above the road, and then it kind of fairly flat sidle from there to the next car park. Making good progress. Should really have bought a walking stick for walking on these rockier sections. They're a bit uneven. It's really good view there right up Lyttelton Harbour, right out to the heads of Lyttelton. That's like the mouth of Lyttelton Harbour. Diamond Harbour's off to the right hand side, and Lyttelton's off to the left. So there's the next car parking area. Yeah, so the next section of the track heads up and over this hill here. Track sidles up round the side of the hill. Yeah, so you can't ride a mountain bike on these walking track sections. What they'd expect you to do is actually cycle on the road, and that's what I've done doing this section before. Is I've actually cycled this section, and you just ride on the road from here, from the top of Kennedy's Bush Spur all the way down to the bottom of Cashmere, or just continuing along the Summit Road. You know, as far as you can go on the Summit Road is to Rapeki Track. Yeah, there's still some sections of the Summit Road that are out of action since the Christchurch earthquakes, and they probably never will be back in action, so... So I'm nearly at the apex of the trek here, and I think it's probably the highest point that I reach over the course of the whole day. It's a wee bit higher than the top of Kennedy Bush Spur. Yeah. That's looking back over to the top of Kennedy Bush Spur. Yeah, you can see quite far out onto the Canterbury Plains. You can see the foothills in the distance, and I can see down the plains, probably about maybe 100 kilometres, maybe 150 k's. On a real clear day, sometimes when you're up here, you can see Mount Cook sticking up over all the other mountains. Yeah, it's got to be clear though. So that's the apex of the track. From here I'm making my way down to another car park that's about probably 600 or 700 metres ahead of me. There's Pegasus Bay off there in the distance, and off to the right is Sugarloaf with the antenna, the TV antenna for Canterbury. So the trail markers have got me going over the fence. I think where it's going to is it's just going to like a little lookout point where you can look down on Governor's Bay. But we'll jump over the fence and we'll go have a look and see what it is anyway. So there's two walks here. There's the Trig 5 bushwalk and the lookout to Governor's Bay. The markers for the track are taking us along the Trig 5 bushwalk, so I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's a new section since the last time I walked the track. So, that's Governor's Bay down there. Governor's Bay is one of the bays at the head of Lyttelton Harbour. The track that I'm on is Faulkner's track, so if I keep following this track it eventually takes me down to Governor's Bay, but obviously I'm not going to go down there. There was a sign back there that explained all the tracks up here, and Trig 5 track is an alternate route so that you can go up to the top of that hill if you want to, with views down to the bays and stuff, but I'm not going to go that way because I've already gone past, so I'm not going to backtrack on myself. Yeah, but that's Lyttelton down there. So you can see off on the distance you've got Quail Island here with Diamond Harbour in behind it, and then the mouth of the harbour is like over here, and then this township here on the left hand side, that's actually Lyttelton. So our trek, what we're doing is we're going back over the stile and then we're heading off to the right, and that takes us down towards the sign of the Kiwi. So we're just heading along the track, heading down to the sign of the Kiwi. There's a car park down below us there, where those gum trees are. So we're nearly down at the car park. From there we're crossing over the road. Yeah, so the sign there said it's 2 k's down to the sign of the Kiwi, which is that direction. So we just cross over the road and then join onto another old track and follow that track down. So you can see there's a post over the road over there that's got the Christchurch 360 logo on it. And then we're just walking down that path on the other side of the road over there. Yeah, so 1.5 k's to the sign of the Kiwi, and we're just heading off in that direction there, just on this side of the road. Had to put my hat on, it's getting a bit sunny. So I'm over Wesley Spur Road, and then you're just walking along up above the road for a wee while. So you can see the track there, it just sidles along above the road and around over that spur over there, and then drops down to another car park, and that's probably where I'll come back unless I see something interesting. You've got a nice view out to Littleton as you're walking down this part of the track. It's looking back up the track. Not very exciting, it's just gorse and plants and stuff on the sides. So you have to head up that hill on the other side of the road over there. It's the end of that section of track, and then we cross over the road again and we head over to the other side over there. And then you can see the track heads up the side of the hill and then it sidles down the side of the hill. We're right next to one of the mountain biking tracks from the Christchurch Adrenaline Park up on the Port Hills. I'll stop down there and see if I can get some mountain bikers coming past. You got to hit that corner with a bit of speed. Are you going to high side?
Okay. I'll go around the road, I think. Okay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be cutting that inside corner like that. Can see Mt Bradley and Mount Herbert off in the distance. Then you just basically head up the hill. Just going to eat my lunch. I got some snacks and a sandwich that I bought from a service station, and water. So I'll eat my sandwich. Been walking for a couple of hours now. So there's a track that'll take you out to the end of that point there, and you can probably just barely see there's some people up there walking around. One of the guys has got a white shirt on and one of them's got a blue shirt on. Really good views down to Littleton and out over the upper bays. Really busy today. People all over the place. So you can see down into Governor's Bay, and off to the right you can see round towards Gebby's Pass, and I can just see the ocean over the Gebby's Pass over there. There's Mt Bradley on the right and Mount Herbert on the left. Once I finish my lunch, I'll head up the hill and start heading down to the sign of the Kiwi. I'll be pleased to get there because I won't film it, but when I'm walking down the Harry L track, it's got a bit of protection from the sun. There's some trees. Yeah. Make sure you bring a sun hat when you come and walk this track, and you need some sunscreen as well because you're out in the sun for a long time. So there's a couple of track junctions here. We want to go this way. That sidles down to the sign of the Kiwi. If we take this track to the right, there's a lookout down into Governor's Bay, and it also takes you up to the top of this hill. So we're going to go off to the left, or basically straight, and that's taking us the way we want to go. So over on the end of that spur over there, you can see a whole lot of cars parked. The sign of the Kiwi is just right round the corner from there. That's where we're heading for. It's probably only about less than a car away now. There's the Sugarloaf over there with the TV antenna up on top. So we're just walking down to where those telephone poles are, and then we get back onto the track again and head along the side of the hill. It's looking down the Hoon Hay Valley. So the track is supposed to head off to the right there, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to go left here around the bottom of the hills and just sidle up above the road, heading up for today. Dyers Pass Road over there. There's the car park at the sign of the Kiwi. So this is the end of the trek. The road's just down below us. Yeah, so just a short section, but that's part of the Christchurch 360. End of the trek. That's the sign of the Kiwi there. There's a cafe here, and toilets and some water as well, like a water fountain.
Breeze feels beautiful. Feels lovely.
Yeah, coming up over the top of the hill there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the end of this walk. Thanks for coming along. From here, you basically head over to the Harriel track on the other side of Dyers Pass Road, and then you head down from there. But I won't go over there. You've seen that before. Cheers. See you next time.